throttle makes heat, right, Terry? Fuel.
Takes fuel, make heat, make the turbo turn.
Right. So are there any other?
Yeah, run away on. Drop a gear.
Drop a gear. Get your RPMs up. That makes a lot of algae. Oh no.
It's every 1,000 miles. I gotta do filters.
Oh, they didn't treat the fuel.
They did not treat the fuel. I treated the fuel 3 years now. Been treating fuel, and it's too far.
What you might want to do is get the stuff polished. Find a tank polisher.
Well, I
polish
gotta drop the tank.
No, they can do it because they stick one hose in, and then the return hose goes in there and it sprays all around, and they keep going until you get clear fuel. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not many fuel polishers left.
Every fill up I add. And another thing about that algae deal, whenever you park them, don't park them empty. Park them full.
Yeah.
That keeps the algae down.
That keeps the water out.
Water takes water and air. Water.
I got bad fuel at a small gas station one time. I needed fuel and I knew better, but I had to get it. Within 50, 100 miles, I started having an issue, and by the time I got to a hotty-toddy RV park, I was barely chugging in there, and I had to change the fuel filters without them seeing me. They kept coming around their golf cart every few minutes. And they said, well, sir, you can't work on your RV here. But I was able to pull it off. They didn't know. I said, I'm just checking the oil. Sir, you were checking the oil a while ago. Yes. Still checking it. That's the Chelsea pump.
That's a Chelsea pump and power takeoff.
So that was a 7/8 inch. So you upgraded
to the 1 inch, with the grease
greasable
fitting on the end.
The 95 Series 60 came without a greasable Chelsea
There's no
pump.
greasable, and I always worried about it until finally I took it, I slid it back far enough to see it, and that was it.
In 96 they changed to a greasable.
Yeah.
But no one knew that it had a grease zerk on that pump, and back in the old days, original days, no one greased it back then either.
And a lot of these got replaced. Put it around the cable or tube or whatever, and tie wrap it on there. I've had copper air brake lines chafed through on the FC.
Yeah. And then Colorado, where I live, we are required to pass an emissions test, even on an old bus, and it wouldn't pass. I got one guy to pass me to get the first round of license plates, but tried it a second time to get new plates, and it wouldn't pass. So I ended up taking off the fuel injector pump, swinging the radiator, changed out some stuff, just precautionary. I wanted to put a new water pump on it, new idler bearings, put a new harmonic balancer on it, new front seal on the crank, and I sent the pump to Tim at R&S Injection in Georgia, and he rebuilt that. He rebuilt another one. I guess Randy had talked about this guy before, so, but a friend of mine, Kiki, that's got an 87 FC, lives in Albuquerque, steel wheels on the WOG, but he had Tim do his first, and so his came back, it was running great, so I was like, okay, I'm going to have him do mine. So
how much did that cost?
The injection pump was about $800 to get it rebuilt, and he said it was way out of adjustment. So good news is when I got it back and got everything put back together, took it to the emissions place, and passed with flying colors. So, but Caterpillar had the good $380 pump in stock. So, and then who was it told me last night? You told me. Didn't you tell me that, Mark? Or anything that goes on that motor by a cat part. So that was a lesson.
You've got a house. You've got water. You've got almost everything you really need. Just get to a safe spot. Don't panic. There's no reason to panic. Be calm. Think it through. Figure out what your plan is. Use your resources. One of those is WOG. Figure out, call your buddy that you know that you've met here that has a similar Bluebird and ask him a question or two. But if you need to be towed, the best way to be towed is on a landall. They put the whole thing up there. That if you tow it with a stinger, they'll tear up stuff. You'll drag the back end. I know everybody has different towing experiences, but none of them were any good.
When I signed up for CoachNet,
Yes.
the salesperson on the phone said, "Oh, Bluebird Wanderlodge, landall."
Yep.
Nothing but a landall.
That's right.
You got that right.
Yep. If you do need to tow, get a landall. Much easier. Anything else?
Lucas helped me out yesterday. The generator wouldn't start the other day. It turned out it was a bad battery. The battery was unknown on my.
You have a battery in your front?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can disconnect, your systems are tied together. I want to do it on mine. There's an alternator on here. You have to find the John Deere that this engine was in. And the alternator will be the same. And it'll belt up, and you can completely disconnect your 12-volt system of your generator from the bus.
Right.
And it's actually a good thing to do.
Just takes the place of this.
Yep.
Yep, I heard.
This is built in the
This is
same
adjustable.
dimension as the
Oh, yeah, I can see
alternator.
it. Yeah, it's made for it.
And that's the best thing to do with it because they don't charge the battery just right.
Actually, you could probably find this Kohler in something else with an alternator on it.
Yeah. Yamaha.
Yeah, it's a Kohler gen set though.
Yeah, Kohler 12.5.
Yep.
Then he's got a Raycor right there.
Yep.
That's a Perkins.
Don't use high pressure water.
You can use water
Pressure whatsoever.
But if
You
you
can get a comb.
If you don't get it out,
Comb for that. That's got the right spacing.
best thing is air to blow it out. If you got around there, good air hose, that's what you need.
And this isn't really bad.
I have
It
air
looks
hose
pretty
go
crappy, but the
from
tubes
here
are still
in,
good.
Yeah.
Go from there.
The tubes are good. The fins are.
You got a few
fins
years
are-
left.
that's
I think you
something
got
off,
a few
but-
years left. Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know, lots of my truck.
I can get away without a Recor. I would for now.
I wouldn't worry about it. He ain't got enough
Right.
bad stuff in it.
Mine's